Hey guys, welcome to a few more Mindful Minutes with Dr. Rich Martin. Thanks for joining me, I appreciate it. The title of today's video comes from Stephen Covey, whose famous book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, has gone, world renowned. It's been around for, I think, at least a couple decades now. I don't know how many editions it's in. Organizations use it, like I said, all over the world. His 5th habit is seek to understand first and then to be understood. Because he says that most people listen with the intent to respond rather than the intent to understand. And, I'm certainly guilty of that way too often, I'm sure. You think about that. How many times have you been listening to somebody and you're just forming your response? You're waiting for them to just stop talking so that you can just give your response and your perspective. And I think that's a key part of the problem that we have today in our society that seems to be so split and divisive. We see these rigid political camps where, nobody's willing to budge. We see it now with the civil unrest, the police perspective and the Black Lives Matter movement, the movement to defund the police. And certainly, as I said, I've been guilty of that, seeking to get people to understand me as the priority rather than me seeking to understand them. Now, I can certainly understand the perspective of the police. I lived it for a whole career. But I can't understand what it's like to grow up a black male in a high crime neighborhood. So we need to seek first to understand and then to be understood. And I think that's true across so many things, whether it's, listening to our spouse, whether it's getting along with fellow coworkers. Here's an interesting little story. When I was growing up in my teenage years, it was Halloween. And I was out with some friends, and one of my friends was complaining about having to be home so early. He thought he should be able to stay out later. And he looked at my other friend, he said, I wish my parents were more like yours, because mine are they won't treat me like an adult. They want me home early. They want to know where I'm at all the time. And he says, you're so lucky to have parents that, trust you to stay out and, as late as you want. And my other friend looks at my first friend and says, I wish I had parents that cared enough like your parents do. My parents just don't care what time I come in or where I'm at or what I'm doing. I thought that was very interesting because my first friend there thought he understood the situation of my second friend, and he really didn't. And taking the time then to listen to my second friend gave him a whole new perspective. So I'm going to challenge myself today, and I hope I can challenge you guys too, to seek to understand first and then seek to be understood next. Seek out a perspective that's new and unique to your own, one that maybe you've avoided because you just don't want to understand it. It just doesn't make any sense to you. And let's see if we can't understand that perspective a little bit more. And don't listen with the intent to reply. Listen with the intent to understand. How's that for a deep one this Monday morning? Thanks for joining me. I hope you take me up on my challenge. I hope you'll hold me accountable for that challenge. And let's see if we can't gain some extra understanding this week. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Have a fantastic day.